COVID-19 infections are rising at alarming rates. That's the bad news coming out of many of the states that have been largely unaffected previously by this pandemic. And as this crisis continues with no let-up in sight, it feels like, it's starting to feel like, this is our new normal. So as somebody recently asked, where's the hope? Well, on a natural level, I could tell you that we can find hope by putting this whole thing into perspective. By taking a look at past crises, our resilience as Americans in the face of past crises, we can find every reason to hope that we'll get through this crisis as well. Like, remember Y2K? Y2K was supposed to be apocalyptic. The experts were predicting that the power grid would completely crash, and that as a result there would be blackouts, widespread blackouts, and food shortages and unforeseeable horrors. They were predicting that our new normal would be a lot like living in the Mad Max movies. But September 1st, 2000 came and went, and aside from a few glitches here and there, we got through that crisis. In fact, by the end of that January, most of us had forgotten about all the predictions of doom and gloom. Or much more poignantly, take 9/11, the immediate aftermath of 9/11. It's easy to forget how terrified and full of despair we were in the wake of that tragedy. Even as we were reeling from the unfathomable loss of life that we had just witnessed before our eyes, even as we were trying to absorb the shock to our national sense of invincibility being attacked on our homeland, even as we were trying to pick up the pieces of what was the most surreal tragedy in most of our lifetimes, the experts were telling us that we were going to get attacked again, and soon. And this time, far worse, by biological or chemical weapons or through a nuclear dirty bomb. And with every anthrax scare, our national anxiety, our collective anxiety went through the roof. But we got through that crisis. Our resilience got us through that crisis. And if you think about it, 9/11 was a far greater existential threat to us than COVID-19 ever will be. In fact, many of the past crises we've gotten through, like World War II or the Great Depression or 9/11, have been far greater existential threats to us than COVID-19 ever will be. So when we put things in perspective, when we take a look at our resilience as Americans, our past history in the face of past crises, we have every reason, every hope, every reason to hope that we will get through this crisis as well. As horrendous as COVID-19 has been, and as many scars that it's going to leave with us for years to come, we, as the many signs that I see around here, the roadside signs I see around here, we have every reason to expect that this too shall pass, that we shall overcome, that COVID will take a hike. But you know what? Our real hope isn't found in our resilience as Americans. It's not found by putting this whole thing in perspective or looking at past history. Because even though we'll probably get through this crisis like we have the other crises in the past, nobody knows for sure, nobody can know for sure that we will. This may actually be our new normal. Social distancing and wearing face masks and travel restrictions, catastrophic death tolls and economic calamity, that may be our future. And those road signs that are encouraging us, telling us that this too shall pass, we shall overcome, they in reality are little more than wishful thinking. Because I am so convinced that Jesus rose from the dead, because I'm so convinced by the evidence that Jesus rose from the dead, I spend most of my time talking about that evidence, telling people why they can trust that he truly rose from the dead, that it's a historical fact. So I usually don't talk about the meaning of his resurrection, what Jesus' resurrection, his coming back from the dead, means for us. But you know what? That's exactly where our real hope is found. In fact, it's the only place we can find solid hope. Obviously, Jesus' resurrection means that he's conquered death. And by conquering death, that means he's conquered it for us as well. It means that anybody who has entrusted their life to him can be assured of eternal life. In fact, if you examine, as I have, all the other claims people have made about coming back from the dead or transcending death in some way, from other belief systems, other religions, to near-death experiences, what you'll find is that there's only one claim that has substantial proof behind it, and that's the claim made about Jesus. He's the only person to ever have truly come back from the dead and have transcended death, gone beyond death so that he will never die again. He's the only one who has substantial evidence, significant evidence behind that fact. So Jesus rising from the dead is the only real solid hope we have. His resurrection is the only solid proof we have of eternal life, and therefore it's the only solid hope we have too. But it's not just that he rose from the dead and so we will too. It is so much better than that, because the most stunning thing about the resurrection is what it follows, the cross. See, if Jesus lived to a ripe old age and died a natural death, a peaceful death as an old man, and then came back from the dead, his resurrection would still be the best news ever. But it wouldn't be nearly as meaningful. No, the fact that the resurrection follows Jesus' excruciating death on the cross for us, the fact that he would do that for us, tells us the thing that we most desperately want to know. In all the world, the one thing that we most desperately want to know, it tells us that God really loves us. He really, really loves us, even to the point of being willing to die, to suffer and die an agonizing death for us. We may not understand why God allows COVID-19 or any other suffering for that matter, but the fact that the one who conquers death conquered the cross leaves no doubt about his love for us or about his power over all things. It's not like God has lost control of the universe, that COVID-19 means that God has lost control of the universe. And it's not like God has abandoned us. No, the resurrection, which is our only solid hope, the resurrection tells us not only that he is Lord of the universe and has conquered death so that we might have eternal life, but it also tells us that God couldn't love us more. Resurrection hope tells us that he is always with us. He will never let us go. And in the end, life on high with him is the only new normal that matters. There's the hope. So where do you find hope in this crisis? Or do you find this whole thing hopeless? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can go to the Contact EJ page of the Raising Jesus website and leave your comments there. I pray that you will know the power of Christ's resurrection in your life and have his hope, the only real solid hope that can get you through this crisis.